Welcome, everyone, to the After the Gate podcast, your number one source for authentic stories, interviews, and educational content surrounding the justice system, incarceration, and more. Come along with us now as we give you a glimpse before and after the gate.
Yo, what's up, everybody, and welcome to the After the Gate podcast. Today, we have a special guest, Leon. I cannot wait to share his story with everybody. Leon, go ahead, jump in. Tell them what's your name, your age, and where you're from, bro, and tell a little bit about yourself.
What's going on? My name is Leon Reese Jr. I'm from Chicago, Illinois. I grew up in a little town outside of Chicago called Joliet, Illinois. It was a major, huge prison I grew up called Big Joliet. And I literally, from my grandma's house, I can see that prison. So every day to go to school, our bus drove past Big Joliet, which now I think it's a them now. But anyways, during my trials and trails, growing up in Joliet, Illinois, I was shot when I was 7 years old. Just being a kid, you know what I'm saying? Some people always ask, how can that happen to a child, right? And I tell them it just depends on where you're from. It's normal to me, you know what I'm saying? So even
that's crazy, bro.
I know. Even growing up in life now, I had to learn through treatment and everything on how to communicate to people, you know what I'm saying, who have those situations, right? Because now I'm desensitized. I've seen so much death, like the movies, if not that and some, and then being in prison, you know what I mean? It's multiple things I've seen in my life where I'm like, somebody come to me crying and tell a story, right? I'm like, damn, that's messed up. And I guess they assume for me to get a different reaction. But then I had to learn, okay, how do I change this? You know what I'm saying? If I'm going to be on a platform to help people, you know what I'm saying? Or even, you know what I'm saying, give them my story like I'm doing now, you know what I'm saying? So they can understand why I do the things I do now and why I let people go and certain things go. So I had to understand that, you know, one, I don't know it all. You know what I'm saying? I wrote some things down, actually, pretty much how I changed, you know what I'm saying? My keynotes, personally, I think accountability. For me, accountability. You know, like prime example, I'm gonna bounce all over the place, but I do it all the time.
I like it, Leon. Do you think, man? I like it.
So prime example, all my crimes in Chicago was like minor crime / big crime, gun cases, you know what I'm saying, stealing, armed robberies and all that, right? But at the same time, I had to learn that, well, pretty much, I didn't have to learn that. It was pretty much common sense. In Chicago prisons, you had to be rough. You had to be uptight. You had to be aggressive, right? So therefore, your intellect couldn't, you know what I'm saying, blossom. You didn't want to learn about education. You didn't want to learn about checkbooks. You didn't want to learn about GEDs. All you had to worry about survival. You know what I mean? So I left Chicago because, so put it like this. In Chicago, the drug programs in Chicago, if you do drug treatment in Chicago, you get good time. So a prime example, if the judge sentenced you to 1 year, that's 61 days in prison. You get out in 61 days. 2 years, that's 6 months. 3 years, that's 9 months. You know what I mean? Depending on your crime. And then if you go to drug treatment and all that, it's 45 days off your sentence every 90. So I was just going to the drug treatment programs to get out early. You know what I mean? We are, you know, pretty much manipulating the system. But it didn't work. So I got out and the judge pretty much told me, like, he gave me a, you know what I'm saying, ultimatum. He pretty much, Mr. Reese, you know, you hear your last name in the courtroom, but it ain't good. Yeah. But long story short, right, pretty much I was explaining this to my, I'm in construction now, which is weird, which is unique, but I guess it's not weird. It's well deserved because I worked hard for it, right? But I was explaining to this guy, because every morning I do speeches and I pretty much put them on Snapchat or post them on Facebook. And it's crazy the things that I come up with because it's from me, right? But it's from my experience, what I've seen, what I've been through. So my perception of Chicago is that, number one, it's my hometown. I love it. I respect it. But at the same time, it gave me so much hardship, pain, and sorrow to where, like, I resented it in a way. You know what I mean? I couldn't see no passion in it. It's kind of like when people are like, hey, man, Chicago's beautiful. I'm like, well, where at? Where was you at? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, it's
you know,
crazy
but
you say that, Leon, because honestly, Chicago is my favorite city, right? Like just going there and experiencing it, but I never seen the side that you've seen. And that's
right,
why, you know what I mean, that desensitization to that. Like, man, I love Chicago. I love the city, the people, the things you
right,
can go see and do. But like, yeah, it's a whole different take from your side, you
yeah,
know?
yeah.
Yeah.
And then like, so I got out in 2014 and I got placed in Minnesota, the beautiful state of Minnesota.
How did you come from, okay, so you were in jail in Chicago and
Yep.
got out. How did you come all the way to Minnesota? Did you know somebody?
So long story short, crazy story. So everybody called me twin. I'm not really a twin. So my sister and my biological mom, they moved there in 2001. I got out of juvenile in 2001 in Illinois. So I was separated from my family, I want to say 95, 96. I was the only one out of my family. My mom got 13 kids now. Out of
Okay.
13 kids, I was the only one, you know what I'm saying, taken out. That's because of, you know what I'm saying, my abuse and everything that went down with me, my
Yep.
grandparents and all that. Then pretty much DCFS. Out now is CPS now, but where I'm from is DCFS, Department of Children Family Services, something like that.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
so my sister, everybody begged me to come here, to come to Minnesota. And I'm like, all right. So this story now is going to get deep.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I went to Minnesota. Now, mind you, I come from, because I got all my accolades, which I love keeping my certificates. You know what I'm
Keep
saying?
them all, bro. Every one of them, Leon.
So,
Yes.
so the reason why, because I show people, it comes a time in life where you either one, you got to look at these as affirmations, as uplifting, as encouragement things to look at, but also allow it to humble you and, you know what I'm saying, make you reflect on a time where you used to be at. You know what I mean? But also, it might make you feel bad. Like mine made me feel bad. So I'm gonna pretty much backtrack real quick. So
Yeah.
I was shot when I was 7. During I was 7, from the age of 7 to 11, I was being on saying raped and molested by a few guys in Chicago. My grandmama and them got wind of this, and my now clinical therapist, because I got shot, obviously the town like, well, something's going on in the house, so we need to know what I'm saying, check on it and whatnot. So long story short, my therapist, she quit her profession and she adopted me. That became my mom. So this is what I mean by when it comes to treatment. So treatment been embedded in my body, but at the same time, it means nothing if you don't implement it in your life now. Like one of the crucial things, and I guarantee you can testify to this too, is that the guys that aren't getting out, never getting out, majority of them will probably be happier than the ones that just got out. Why? Because they're appreciated more. You know what I'm saying? They're appreciated more. Like prime example, old school dude told me this. A few things when I was in Chicago. One of the hardest prisons, which was Shawnee, Menard, Pontiac. I've been to all those. And them prisons are, and people don't understand it. Like I will say, when I moved to Minnesota and I did my time, I'll explain that in a little bit. At first I was cocky. I'm like, man, I can take this over. But that's because of where I was from, where I was raised. And obviously when you transfer, you know what I'm saying, from system to system, you automatically assume you gotta, you know what I'm saying, conform to a certain way when really you don't. I had dogs in the prison. I went from having to have a shank to walking a dog in Lino Lakes. Like how the hell?
Yeah. What kind of prison is this? Yeah.
And not just that. I began to, everybody called me Shot Town, and I began to, obviously where I'm from, you're gonna always, man, in Chicago, you do this, in Chicago, and I get it. Even my therapist had to check me. Leon, you're not in Chicago no more. I'm like, you're right. You're right. And once I began to start, you know what I'm saying, realizing that, I began to being able to see every flaw in everybody else, but also see the flaw in me. So in the midst of me helping everybody else, that prime example, in Minnesota, y'all get gifted microwaves. I come from bone, Luke, scratch water. Like, you know what I'm saying? We make and pizzas was made off of hot pots plugged in and stingers. It wasn't a microwave. You know what I'm saying? People touch you of microwave. And then I tell people, like prime example, people always say, well, the law, we always accountability. The reason why I say accountability and being able to be teachable is because of this. Memos, right? One thing I liked about memos, right? Well, I didn't see the cop, you know what I'm saying, when I passed him. When you got your license, this was your first warning. When you got your license or you took the test, it says you shouldn't drive how many feet behind a bus. You should give a bike driver how many feet. That was your first warning. Matter of fact, that was multiple warnings. Let's just say 5, right? Now the cop pulled you over. So you had your 5 warnings, you know what I'm saying? Now he's going to ask you his procedure, you know what I'm saying? Do you got license registrations? No. Well, you are of age now, of maturity, of understanding, and you know what, so stop it with the shenanigans. This is why I tell, when I go on my speeches and spills, I tell everybody, even myself, right, take the emotion away from it and look at the logic and the facts of it. You know, don't add too much to it. Play it how it is, man. Play it how it is.
Keep it simple. Yeah, keep it simple.
But anyway, so my sister, she begged me to come out there, and I came out there. Now, mind you, me and my mom got I wouldn't say a gruesome story, but kind of like Eminem type of deal. I didn't like my mom. I kind of despised my mom. My mom was in the gang. I was in the gang too. The gang my mom was in, I refused to be a part of that gang, and I became opposite of that. That's how much I didn't like my mom. My mom was she was part of the biggest gangs in Chicago and Joliet. She was locked up in the White prison in Chicago, Illinois, is one of the hardest prisons for females. So I didn't really have a mom growing up. My grandparents raised me. And when my mom got out, you know, I'm an 80s baby. I was born in 86. So when I got out, my mom got out, she bought me beepers, chains, and all that. And I didn't care about that. I wanted love and affection. You know what I mean? So pretty much my grandparents raised me. The Church of the Living God in Joliet, Illinois, they raised me. So I'm church oriented, you know what I'm saying? All that. So that's what raised me.
What do you think that did for, so like, it's crazy. I love that you say that, Leon, like that's what raised you. And you got Chicago, right? That kind of like influenced. That's why you have that feeling towards Chicago. What do you think that did for you? Like now, right? With the church that helped raise you, your grandparents, what do you think that did for you? And like, did it instill morals, standards?
So all in all, my grandparents, so even I'm gonna try not to cry, but when I talk about, you know, when you talk about real stuff, it come out.
Oh,
you know what
I mean? Hey, you're real, bro.
My grandparents died, you know what I'm saying, giving everything and didn't have nothing, right? So even though I was out doing my crimes, stealing from people, fighting, all that, even in my drug addiction, you know what I'm saying, when I too, you know what I'm saying, took upon a mean, I was addicted to meth and heroin. I was using IV. I'm a year sober now, my bracelet. You know, I got a shirt, just did it for me. And the crazy thing about it is, all this helped. I give it credit, but at the same time, sometimes you got to self-motivate. You got to self-motivate, you know what I'm saying? Because prime example, we can all, when we're locked up, right? The magical word is, I'm changed. I'm going to get out and do better. I'm going to get out and get a job. Well, guess what? If you keep playing, you keep playing spades, going to the gym, working out, you know what I'm saying? Doing all this other stuff, you're not focused on, okay, you can't just do a cover letter like that. You just can't do a resume. You can't just download stuff and paste it no more. You know what I'm saying?
It's not hopping out of a cell into society thinking you can strive, because it's hard.
Yeah.
When you first got out of prison or as a juvenile, was it intense for you? Because you had just got out after a year. Did you say 95 to 96?
No. So in juvenile, so they gave me juvenile life. You know what I'm saying?
They gave you juvenile life?
Yeah, so I had juvenile life. So in Chicago, you got IYC Chicago, IYC Little Joliet. IYC Little Joliet, if you look it up, it looks like a castle just like Big Joliet. These many prison, you had 14-year-olds bench pressing like 405. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy. So, so pretty much while I was in there, same thing with jail and prison. When you become a part of gangs and you got a leader or you're a part of this organization and you're being misled because you got nothing else at home or nothing else positive or love, affection to latch on to, you're going to latch on to the next best thing in which you feel like it is love. You know what I mean? And that was gangs for me. But one thing I will say that stood out for me when it came to games is that at a young age, I always was selfish when it came to certain things, right? Which is okay to be that way. Like in my head, like prime example, the average guy in the hood, he get a pack, he stand on the corner, it's raining, sleet, snow. 9 out of 10 times he already have prize, right? This is what I mean by accountability. That's why I put this first word, accountability, because I've written it all down in every scenario. I'm like, you know what? It all boils down to me. What I do, how I react to it, who's around when I'm doing it. You know what I'm saying? That's how you got to think. So, prime example, you got prize, you got a gun. Now you got a, you know what I'm saying, a felony right there because you got prize. You know what I'm saying? Depending on what you got on you, you know what I'm saying, what you got drugs on you. Now you got another case. You know what I'm saying? In the state of Chicago, both those, you know what I'm saying, drug substances in which you got on you are class X's, which is enhanceable 10 years apiece. So that's 20 years. You know what I'm saying?
They'll lock you up and throw away the key.
So
easy.
Is it my fault that I'm a mom and a kid and I walk by you and I feel, you know what I'm saying, not safe and I call on you? Is it my fault? No, it's not. Like prime example, another crucial thing an old school dude in prison told me. There's no such thing as a snitch. There's no such thing as a snitch. I'm gonna tell you why. If you're prime example, if you grew up in the suburbs, but then again, it doesn't matter if you grew up in the suburbs. Everybody get this misconstrued because a person might have had a little bit more, or a person might have a little bit less. It doesn't matter. There's pain in every single household. There's abuse in every single household. There's abuse in every single race. You know what I'm saying? My mom and dad who raised me from the age of 7 to now was white. So I got a culture indifference, you know what I'm saying, to the point where, like, you know what? It's not like that. And grandmama did, and grandmama was right. Grandmama taught me, you know what, no matter what, who it is, you know what I'm saying? If you can apply pressure to relieve pressure, do that. You know what I'm saying?
Every chance you get, bro. Every chance.
And like I say, like my wife, my kids, everybody, you know what I'm saying? I'm not as selfish as I should be. You know what I'm saying? I'm not, because I feel like, you know what? I had so many scars. I've been abused. I've been raped. I've been stabbed. I did close to 13 years. If you accumulate juvenile, you know what I'm saying, and adult, so I'm like, yeah, I'm still here. I'm still breathing. I beat IV addiction. I died 18 times in Minnesota.
You died 18 times?
So let me tell you how that happened. So in Minnesota, like I said, I moved to Minnesota because of my sister Jessica. And I went downstairs and I was doing laundry and I flipped these pants. I'll never forget it. And a little bag fell out. And you know, Minnesota's big for methamphetamines.
Okay.
So I'm old school. Hey, sis, pull her aside. Hey, man, this fell out. Ain't none of my business. You know what I'm saying? I'm from the streets. Ain't none of my business. Long story short, I'm fresh out from doing like 5.5 years in you know what I'm saying, in Chicago. Mind you, I'm isolating myself. I'm still motivated, but I'm isolating myself. So looking back now, do I feel like it was the worst decision? In a way, yeah. But looking where I'm at now, I feel like I need to go through every single thing, you know what I'm saying, to understand that this is why, you know what I'm saying, I need to.
What makes me who I am, yeah.
So anyway, one night, you know what I'm saying, she the best thing, she raised me. Like when I was in a group home, she came and, you know what I'm saying, she looked for me. She wrote me letters. She was pretty much my mom, you know what I mean? And it's sad now because, like I say, I kept reoffending as far as, you know what I'm saying, reusing, because I wanted to save her. She was the closest thing, you know what I'm saying, as far as my family, my bond. And people, we all know that if you're already strong, or if you're already weak and you got somebody else, you know what I'm saying, which you're bonded to by love and blood, and they're, you know, it's not going to work. And
just drag each other down almost.
I seen CPS, me and her sister-in-law, her husband family, my family, we did shifts, you know what I'm saying? Because the CPS wouldn't allow her to be home with her kids alone. We did shifts, man, on trying to keep the kids. And I was at work and she slipped up and I had to sit there and watch her get them kids snatched away from her. You know what I'm saying? That was the hardest thing. And then she blamed me. And that broke me even more. Then I went into depression, like, damn, I moved to this. And here's how I messed up. I'm like, I moved to this state to be with you, to change my life, my old life. Now I'm a meth head. I'm using drugs. Mind you, a domestic. Let me talk about that. So that's the bigger piece, because everybody's scared to talk about it. I love talking about it.
Leon, 1 second, brother. I think the audio cut for a second. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, we're good now. Okay. Yep. Audio just cut for a second.
So it was the main case in which I went to prison for in Minnesota, which when mainly is predominantly one of the biggest cases in Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to prison, you know what I'm saying, for assaulting the mother of my child, and also assaulting another lady. Both of them I was in love with. I cared about all that, right? Now,
Yeah.
the mother of my child, that incident that happened about, once again, being you know what I'm saying, under the influence of methamphetamines and all that. But I take accountability for everything I do. I also I wasn't used to, as a Black African American man, I wasn't used to having a strong, independent woman to pretty much check me. You know what I'm saying? Like, full out, no, you're not gonna do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I admit, majority of the females I've dated, you know what I'm saying, have been Caucasian. You know, I'm not saying that I'm not saying that there isn't, you know what I'm saying, any woman out there that can't hold her own. I'm just saying that,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, as far as dominance,
It's like cultural almost.
yeah, it was like culture. And she pretty much, in a way, it was different. And I never, you know what I'm saying? And then things got physical. And you know how, like, growing up, or if somebody hit you back, that's the only thing that registers in my head. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to chaos and trauma and all that. But then again, I'm like, damn, after the act happened, I'm like, whoa, what the hell I just do? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So long story short, I assaulted the mother of my child. Minnesota is big on Dankos. Danko is, you know what I'm saying, pretty much the court automatically issues a Danko order, meaning that you can no longer, once an incident happened, you can no longer, you know what I'm saying, be in contact, you know what I'm saying, with the victim, the mother of the child, none of that.
Nothing at all.
But the reason why I understand the Danko so well now, because I broke it off of, once again, manipulation on my part, manipulation on the victim part, all that, you know what I mean? And also, once again, accountability, man. Like, at the end of the day, one thing I realized from my domestic violence experience, so when I was in triad, T500 triad, I excelled to be, you know what I'm saying, a mentor. One of the what else? I was I was at the desk. I forgot what they call it. Been a minute. Anyway,
for everybody listening, Triad is a drug treatment program inside Lino Lake State Facility, right? That's the one you were at, Leon?
Yeah.
Okay, yep.
So, as crazy as it is, once again, I was screaming this, Chi-Town this, and somehow, some way, that T500 grabbed me in and like sit your ass down, you finna learn something. You know, and it wasn't really, and like I say, once again, coming from my therapeutic, you know what I'm saying, background, like, prime example, this was in Jacksonville Correctional Center in Illinois. So it says, this certificate that Leon Reese has successfully completed phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3 of a 3-phase substance abuse program of a total of, listen to this is disgusting, what I mean by when I look back at my certificates. Leon Reese has completed a total of 736 group hours and 12 individual, you know what I'm saying, hours. That was one of the hardest treatment programs, you know what I'm saying, to complete at all.
It's intense.
And
it's an intense one.
And I don't know what it is about me, I guess, because once again, like authority, everybody said I hated authority, so they put me in authority positions in prison. You know what I'm saying? To get that snitch out of my head. Like, I'm gonna go back to the snitch word. Prime example. If you grew up not around chaos, crime, and all this, and you got a brother or a sister who's a part of that lifestyle, and y'all both go out and y'all do something, y'all get locked up, guess what's gonna happen? Common sense. The person who's never been prepped or a part of the situations, they're, as we say it now, they're gonna scream, they're gonna gnaw. What they're doing is, they've never been a part of this. They didn't really agree to this. They're uncomfortable. They don't want to, you know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? Right is right, wrong is wrong.
Wrong is right. Exactly. So, that's it.
You know what I mean? That's how we got to look at it. You know what I mean? But also being teachable. So while I was in Lino Lakes, one of the beautiful things I loved, one of the best assignments, my therapist there was Denise Flanagan. I will never forget her name. You know what I'm saying? They kept me on the unit purposely because I was the loudest, and I pretty much like now, say how you feel, but at the same time, be mindful that everything that comes out your mouth can either harm somebody or help somebody. So be cautious on, your approach when it comes to, it's the same thing like platforms, teaching, trying to educate, trying to be anything positive. You're trying to be mindful that everybody don't understand the way you understand, and you got to not dumb yourself down, but also be teachable enough to understand that you have to learn again in order to reach that crowd over there, which you're not reaching. You know what I mean? So also asking for help. I didn't ask for help. I didn't know everything, but because of I see my grandparents didn't ask for no help and all this, wanting to be strong. It's okay to be weak. It's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to be you. You know what I'm saying?
It's okay to need help. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay to need help.
Another thing I wrote down, failing is improving. And that's something I learned from a guy once again in prison. And he was like, failing is improving, because if you don't fail, how can you learn from anything? And I was like, the same thing with cooking. Failing goes to a lot of things in life. It's just not about a crime or something that's bad. So you could put a noodle in a microwave and press 15 accidentally. You know what I'm saying?
Yup.
Making people aware. So there's people who you vent to who will allow you to, fully event and appreciate the fact that you're venting to them, but also ask you, do you want their opinion, on what you gave them, versus a person who you vent to who takes the conversation over and then it's about
and tells you what to do, tells you
so,
what you need to do. Or
but also holding everybody else accountable. Like if you my friend, promise them, I tell everybody this: a friend is a person who's not gonna, give you, or a friend is not gonna give you any examples to fail. A friend is going to prime example. We go out to the club. I don't like going out to the club. You know what I'm saying? If we go out to the club and the altercation break off, you're not supposed to be the friend. Oh man, let's go over there and do this. No, you're supposed to be the friend. Hey man, you know what? You got a job you just got. You got 3 kids. You know what I'm saying? You got a wife at home. You know what I'm saying? I advise you, you know what I'm saying? If you want that, you know what I'm saying? That's what I mean by accountability. We want to blame the system, the white man. No. You know what I'm saying? Do I agree with everything? No, but for the most part, am I looking at the facts and the logic of it? Hell yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I like that you say that, Leon, because like everybody in the world knows how bad of a system or broken of a system we have. But what you said, there's good and bad, and there's right and wrong. And in between that, there's no, you can't really, it's good or bad,
Right.
It's the right and wrong.
So prime example. So I grew up in a half racist house, as crazy as this gonna sound. So my mom parents, they wasn't rocking with me. You know what I'm saying? But it took a tragedy.
You said your so your grandparents weren't rocking with you. They didn't like you in a sense?
Because of my color. You know what I'm saying? They wasn't, you know what I'm saying? They wasn't rocking with me. But it took me being, you know what I'm saying, molested and abused for them to be like, well, like I say, the main question, who would do that to a kid? And then it was different. You know what I mean? But sometimes like on the spiritual note, prime example, I feel like I'm all the religions, right? Because I grew up a Baptist. I went to Juvenile, became a Christian, got adopted, became a Catholic, you know what I'm saying? Started gang banging, became a Muslim, went to prison, became another Muslim. You know how it goes.
Yeah. You've had a taste of the world, bro.
For the most part, I respect every single last one of those religions, but also we gotta, as a whole, as a unit, as people, we gotta look at the positivity part of it. Don't look at, oh, well, this is this. Stop trying to look at the dividing part of it. Look at the love, look at the passion, look at the main thing, sacrifice that one, you know what I'm saying? Look at that, And so anyway, that happened, then things changed. You know what I'm saying? Things changed from me. And it was different. It was different. You gotta understand, I grew up eating with roaches and catalogs to having a maid because they had a little money, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, but also I was humble, you know what I'm saying? I was real humble, you know what I mean? And I still, money don't change the world, man. It don't change the world. I feel like, man, if you want anything in life, you got to work for it. But the main thing is you got to be consistent enough, and you got to make those in which you're trying to impress. show them your longevity of being consistent. That's the key to us getting out of prison. Like I said, the main thing too, though, that helps me, I said, have plenty of hobbies. Have plenty of hobbies. You know, don't knock it until you try. You don't know what. Like I told Chris, your brother, I ain't doing the skydiving thing. It's just a few things I do.
Yeah. There's a few things I'm not gonna do.
I'm not doing that. But like, even with him, he was longboarding. I never longboarded before in Rochester. And all of a sudden, I'm like, man, you know what? I grabbed a Sector 9 and a lanyard, and we was downtown, got, you know what I'm saying, rolling. And it was the funnest thing ever. And I'm like, wow, just that small ounce, you know what I'm saying, of glory brings you peace. You know what I mean?
My brother has so much love and respect for you, bro. And every time, like, that's why in anticipation, everybody listening, it's been a like pleasure to be able to sit down and talk with you, Leon, because my brother, literally, bro, nothing, I swear, bro, he pumps you up. And for me to hear that, you know what I mean? It like anybody getting out of prison and on that good path, and how with you with accountability, bro, I swear, Leon, you could be telling 1,000 students in an auditorium, like, this is what goes on, or you already know, bro, you're on that path.
And then here's the thing, right? Like I say it every day, like, prime example, man, like sagging your pants. Let's start right there. Let's just start with the simplest thing. Like, everybody wants a job, but don't nobody want to work. Everybody want to make a certain amount of dollar, but once again, don't nobody want to put forth the education. Sometimes you might not need education to get the dollar, but you're going to need a different trait, a skill set, or an experience, or watch somebody do this for you to gravitate, you know what I'm saying, to your pinnacle stance in life. But if you ain't willing to be told no, be teachable again, like, you know, you need to do that over again. And, you know what I'm saying, at the end of the day, look at it. We're all going to be told what to do. There's no going around it. There's no, you know what I'm saying, whether you're famous or you're going to be told what to do. So how do you make your mark? How do you know what I'm saying, demand your respect on top of giving respect? You know what I mean? It's a crucial game. And what else I wrote down? Hold on, let me get something else I want to talk about. So pretty much I had to learn. I also get real mad, right? Because now I'm like, I ain't gonna say I'm saved, but I'm like, well, I made it this far, so I figured something out, right? So in a way, you get kind of cocky, right? And I wrote down here, I'm like, you can't save, you know what I'm saying? Hold on, you can't save everybody, you know. And what I mean by it is that when I was in Lino Lakes triad, I got to the point where the therapist, the Senate even talked to me. They kept coming to me with the guys who kept being in denial, right? And the one thing I told the guys in the group we were in, like, look, check it out, man. If you are in this class, this domestic violence class, you put your hands on your girl. They already got your file. They're looking at your pictures, all that. You know what I'm saying? And don't fight it. But also, if you're in denial with that, guess what you're gonna go out there and do again? You're gonna
you're denying it.
Let me tell you how crucial, and I'm gonna say cocky and raw is when I came to domestic violence. Like even still to pretty much to today, right? Like every household is dealing with it today, right? The average male figure who has a woman in their household, let's say for instance, right? You walk into Walmart, right? And you're in Walmart, and what's the first thing the average male do? You're either going to the sports section, or you're going to the meat section, or you're pretty much, long story short, you're separated from the wife or your girlfriend or the mother who has the child. But guess this, she's going to get a meal for the whole family. If you go off and get snacks as the male, guess what we do? We go off and get cakes, brownies, all this.
The shit we don't need.
You know what I'm saying? But here the thing is, but we will share. But that taught me, because I was, all this kept coming out, you know what I'm saying? Because every day I complete a book in like a day because I had to treat the knowledge. So, but the reason why I kept going over the assignments and over them, because I wanted to see if there was a pattern or something was different. You know what I'm saying? At first, I admit it's corny. It's corny, it's stupid, but at the same time, I'm tired of sitting at this cold table. I'm tired of dude farting by me. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired of commissary, if you missed this, I'm tired. You know what I'm saying? It comes a time when you're tired. You know what I'm saying? You got to be tired. There's nothing in there. You know what I'm saying? But anyway,
Leon, is that, I'm going to just jump in real quick. Is that what you think was that like the point inside prison in trial where you said, I'm tired, dude, like I'm not coming back? Was that your turning point, you would say? Or what would you say is like that flip a switch?
So I would say honestly, so I went in, man, with just like, I'm gonna work on me. I hurt so many. I actually overdosed. So I actually tried to like kill myself. So I shot up heroin and everything, and St. Mary's, they airlifted my body, you know what I'm saying? From it was a quick trip somewhere out there. They airlifted my body to St. Mary's, you know what I'm saying? I woke up in shackles and all that because I was disgusted, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, how did I do that? And the fact that the mother of my child or the women in which, you know what I'm saying, I abused in that way, you know what I'm saying? Out of frustration, anger, jealousy, you know what I'm saying? Which is a key. Now here's the thing, right? In order to change, man, you gotta admit that it's something about you that I ain't gonna say is, you know what I'm saying, completely wrong, but if you did something wrong, you did something wrong. And if you don't understand something, it's okay to say that. You know what I'm saying? Like prime example, all those mental health exams at first, I cheated through all of them. And then I actually took one. I got high anxiety disorder. You know what I'm saying? I got, you know what I'm saying, trauma, depression, all these things. And like prime example, on my TikTok, when I stay up on TikTok sometimes, I'm up late and I personally feel bad because I'm assuming that somebody's thinking I'm doing meth. No, I gotta work myself to sleep. You know what I'm saying? But the fact that I'm conscious of that, that shows that I came a long way. You know, that shows that I hate that. I hate that image. Like being called a woman beater, a meth head, or an addict. My thing is this: I accept all those names, but in order, you know what I'm saying, to pretty much change that perception, like I say, you got to come with that longevity. You got to pretty much, you know what I'm saying, be accountable for what you did. You got to give back, constantly give back. You got to give back even when you don't want to give back. And I'll tell you the reason why. One of the best assignments Minnesota has taught me when I was in Triad was the Ripple chart. The Ripple chart. Let me explain what the Ripple chart is.
Yeah, what is that? Yeah.
So in Triad, the Ripple chart is this, right? It's kind of like taking a rock. You take a rock, you throw it out there, you know what I'm saying? It creates ripples, right? Say, for instance, right? You do a crime. I did a domestic assault. Now, they pretty much tell me to put down on paper, you know what I'm saying, everybody I affected, you know what I'm saying, in the midst of me doing my domestic violence, any crime I ever did in life, right? So I put it on this paper. Then they blow it up and they put it on the wall so everybody in the group can see it. And then everybody in the group can tell you who you hurt. Now in the beginning, you feel offended because you can't see it. You can't see it because the tunnel vision is only focused on everybody that's in the house when it's more than that. Prime example, you heard it. My grandmama, I heard my grandmama. She's no longer here. My grandmama was knowing, saying she wouldn't agree with me doing that. First and foremost, me doing drugs, I heard her. I heard my grandmama, you know, it's my granddad. I heard my mom. I heard, you know what I'm saying, an image, a culture image. I destroyed so many different, you know what I'm saying, aspects about myself. And to go back, rewind to your question, that's what changed me. When I began to like seriously look at like, damn, I'm a meth head. I'm putting hands on women. I'm like, whoa, Leon, what the hell? You don't even like drugs. I didn't even like weed. I'm like, what's wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? You can't say you didn't always have it in life because you caught a halo. You caught a beautiful halo. But that's why I tell people it doesn't matter about money or household in which you was raised in. If you still dealing with problems and you isolate just, you know what I'm saying, to yourself, but yet you pretty much going through the motions, you know what I'm saying, like pretty much existing, but you're not, you know what I'm saying, gaining any knowledge or empowerment to do better.
Yeah.
You know
I like that you said that, just existing, not just existing, not growing or not just existing. That's bold. I like that.
And what else I said? And I said it's okay to be you. Like promise something. I suck my thumb and I hold a binky. I'm 36 years old. Like I didn't want the bottle because I love hugs. I learned about that. Another thing, reading books. I love reading. I'm pretty sure you know this book. And I love this book. Once again, Minnesota. I don't know what it was about Minnesota. Like I said, I thought it was the softest state, but they made me fall in love.
Yeah.
Prime example, this book, Power of the People.
I've read it. Yeah, I've read it many
Let me
times, man.
like it's facts. You know what I'm saying? When you break it down, it's facts. Now, some people like, oh, that book sound like that book. That sound like that book. Well, check it out. It might do, but guess what? That first book you read, you didn't get it, did you?
You
That's
didn't
why
get
they
it.
put
Yeah,
it.
you didn't pick it up. Yeah, you weren't listening.
So that's why that's why another person came around, you know what I'm saying, with a different, unique style and a way of doing things, so you can get the same. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And then another thing, being able, man, to tell, you know what I'm saying, your brothers, anybody in life that you grew up with or you was around, you know what I'm saying, that's doing good or bad, still somewhat try to find some positivity, man. You know what I'm saying? Because you never know, when they see you do good, you might spark something in them. You might be able to heal them. That's why I tell people, stop looking at that crackhead. You saying crackhead and all this. Understand something. When I was in prison, the crackheads used to be certain people, you know what I'm saying, with different stances in life and was highly respected. And they got, you know what I'm saying, a lot of knowledge. Like, prime example, it was a guy, he said, don't watch your kids grow up on pictures. That was a crucial thing to, you know what I'm saying, to say to a person. Don't watch your kids grow up on pictures. I got 5 kids, you know what I'm saying? And it's amazing, man, that I admit that I feel like my kids even love me sometimes because I feel like I wasn't there. So me personally, I give credit to the mother, even some of the kids I don't see because of, you know what I'm saying, you got relationship goals. For the most part, I wish them all the best. And I know that all my kids are taken care of. You know what I'm saying? They're not nothing harmful is going on. They're all well fed, taken care of. You know what I mean? And as you grow up in life as a man, whether it's child support or not, look at it like this, man. You played a part in that act, right? You played a part in that act, you know. And if you avoiding the system, in a way, you avoiding your kid. You avoiding your responsibilities. You know what I'm saying?
Your responsibilities.
So it stings, it hurts, but at the same time, look at it on a positive side. You're giving something, you know what I'm saying, to make something better for something which you have created. That's it. Don't put else on. Who gives what's going on? Don't look at it that way. Look at the fact that, you know what? Another thing I learned, you know what I'm saying, which I don't want to say I created, but I was thinking about, like, right, is we as African American men, you know what I'm saying, growing up in the hood and whatnot, who have kids, we gotta understand that don't allow the system to strip both relationships of both parents to that kid off of emotions and everybody else entertainment in that hood. You know what I'm saying? We are the future, you know what I'm saying? And that's why, for the most part, I try to, like, if I got any ill intention with somebody, I try to let it go. Like, look around you. Like, mom's dropping, dad's dropping. No place is safe. You know what I mean? So you can help somebody, you know what I'm saying? Give somebody positive vibe, by all means, do that. You know what I'm saying? Like my TikTok. I didn't want to do TikTok. And
why'd you keep doing it, Leon? Why what fueled you to continue?
So I ain't gonna lie, I saw Chris, because you know how Chris is. He's just radical. Chris is crazy.
Yeah, he's radical. Yep.
And he's just all around. I'm like, man, let me do it. And then I got my RC stuff. You know what I'm saying? And everybody was like, well, do a video. I'm like, man, nobody care about me doing. I ain't know, because I just got out. I got out in 2019. And I guess, you know what I'm saying, I was like, okay, I guess I'll do it. So I posted a video. And I woke up the next morning, I had like 1,000 hits. And I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, all right, it was just good. And I'm like, and I went on TikTok. I started stalking TikTok daily, and sure enough. And then I even got banned one time because I was showing how I got a new job, a career, and I got banned. I was gonna get mad, going to TikTok rampage, and some beautiful people jumped in my inbox and was like, no, man, we need you, man. You're a good dude. We love you. And I'm like, what? You know what I'm saying?
Who are these people? Yeah. Who are these people? Yeah.
So that, once again, it's a guy, Landon in Lionel Lakes. He's one of the teachers where he told me every day, like, he shook my hand, damn near gave me a hug, was like, Leon, you tell your story. And I'm like, don't nobody care about that. I'm like, it's not about that. But here's the thing. I guess I don't tell my story, but if you know me in person, I'm always either preaching to somebody or trying to, you know what I'm saying? So,
exactly what my brother said. Exactly, bro. Exactly.
Because here's the thing, like, I don't care about the accolades. Like I say, I got 1,000 certificates, man. I graduated high school, I graduated college, but that don't mean nothing, man. If you're not, you know what I'm saying, using it properly. That's why I'm not like, hey, look at me for what? You know what I'm saying? When you don't everything multiple times, man, it changes you. It really, really changes you, man. It makes you become either hard-headed, you know what I'm saying, grumpy. I'm angry majority of the time because I work too much, but I'd rather be working and going through all the things I'm going through now than to, you know what I'm saying, have to look up and, you know what I'm saying, do I got a warrant? Am I gonna die today, or are my kids gonna, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gotta worry about that.
Yeah, that's peace of mind for you too, I feel like.
Yeah.
You know, that weight off my back. So Leon, you said that you work in construction and you've been blessed into this opportunity. What was it like when you first getting out? What were your major struggles? Was it like, I'm not going to give this dude a job, or like, what was it?
Well, once again, I feel like we're finna talk about Chris. So because of your brother, when he left, I became like Rochester meat, like top dog, like literally, like still to this day. They all wrote a post on Facebook. I wish I could find it, and it was like, man, we pretty much wish we had 3 of you. So, I think your little brother worked there too. So, long story short, it's these bricks, right? These bricks, and Chris will be up on the lift, you know, up on the stand. He had to mix up the meat and stuff, right? And what I had to do was pretty much open these bricks up, you know what I'm saying? These blocks, artificial meat, which are 60 pounds. And you have 14, 12, and 6. Now, that's a lot of bricks. You got to push this button and get them all out. And Chris up there push these machines. I had to open all them up, take the bags and the cardboard, fold them up, put them on this rail thing, take the paper, slide it up off the ground, throw in the thing. If any meat failed, go down there, take the meat, slide it to the North Sand red bucket because it touched the ground, wash my hands, change my gloves, slide back over there. So yeah,
it was hectic up in that spot.
When Chris left, Chris' other partner, which was Owen. Chris and Owen was like, you know what I'm saying, partners. So you had Owen was pretty much the traditional, you know what I'm saying, by the book. Chris was, I'm getting this done. I'm finna, you know what I'm saying, I'm getting out of here. I got stuff to do. You know what I'm saying? So I pretty much, I was already neat. I'm neat, you know what I'm saying? I'm organized. I got that from my grandparents. So I hate clutter. You know what I'm saying? Which ironically helps my anxiety at nighttime. Like I can take, you know what I'm saying, RC car completely apart. And if I'm frustrated or mad, you know what I'm saying, which will calm me down, it's like, you know what I'm saying, therapy, me building it back. That's why I'm good with my hands. So
that's that key point in having hobbies, bro.
Yeah.
So good hobbies that like fuel your therapy. You know?
Yeah. So at that job, I was already blessed. So when I was locked up, they was pretty much just like, as soon as you come out, you ain't got to fill out nothing, just come on in.
You got a job. That's cool.
I work like this. My work ethic job is never, like I say, I got my background, I got a rap sheet. So I'm glad you said that. Now we finna go there because you just sparked something. The main reason why I started talking and pretty much using my voice because I was shot twice. I was shot in the knee. I was shot in the back. I was raped, you know what I'm saying, multiple times from the age of 7 to 12. I did, you know what I'm saying, close to 13 years in prison, you know what I'm saying, state time. I say Fed time because when I was in Peak, Illinois, they staged us there. Now, in
a Fed joint?
Yeah, let me tell you something because it's a different ball game. You know what I'm saying? Different.
I hear horror stories about Chicago and the prison systems and everything, bro. Yeah. Horror stories.
Prime example, like y'all buses in Minnesota, like y'all got cameras and all that. Y'all can stand up. Y'all got windows. No. We shackled like this side by side with like 40 people on one bus, and we're moving that bus at like 3 o'clock in the morning. And the prisons are St. Cloud to Lionel Lakes wasn't that far. Like I was in like the longest prison in Chicago. So you got Chicago here, and you got Shawnee. Shawnee is like 9-8 hours, you know what I'm saying, from Chicago. And you gotta drive off. So if you come to visit somebody, you gotta like stay overnight. You know what I mean? So it really it sucked. But no, but work ethic. My work ethic came from my grandparents. Like I say, my grandmama Geneva Holmes, God rest her soul, and my granddad Cardell Holmes, God rest his soul. My granddad read the Bible religiously. He got paralyzed in 87. I was born in 86, so he couldn't. His whole left side didn't work. My granddad drove his own car. My granddad bathed himself. My granddad did everything. So I had early examples of there is no excuse, you know what I'm saying, to why you can't. My only, you know what I'm saying, backslide and downslide was, you know what I'm saying, my background. But because of the cultural parents I had, like my adopted dad, he understood that because of my culture and where I'm from, he's going to you know what I'm saying, teach me other things. So he taught me how to, you know what I'm saying, MIG stick, I could do, you know what I'm saying? He taught me use power tools, you know what I'm saying? Just anything I felt like I wanted to do, he inspired it. You know what I'm saying? That was a different culture. That's why I tell people, so when the Black Lives Matter happened, my thing is this, right? All lives matter. All lives matter. It's the individual who is either one, misled, two, like prime example on TikTok, all the trolls. I tell the trolls this, right? All y'all need is a little love. Y'all come on in.
Yeah.
If y'all want to
They're
hug,
watching. They're all watching.
If y'all want to hug, come in, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, like every day is not a bad day. Every day you're not gonna wake up mad. So stop marinating. And that was my biggest problem. I hate to say the treatment word, but it is negative self-talk. I beat myself. I'm talking about annihilate myself. Like if I do something wrong, I'm super hard. You don't have to tell me, Leon, you know you messed up. My head's down. I'm moping. My whole day's off. You know, and I had to learn how to, Leon, it's gonna be okay. As crazy as it sounds, but a lot of things in treatment, they work.
Oh yeah,
they work.
It's almost therapeutical. Well, it is. It's therapeutical, the stuff that they're teaching, because it's meant to like break down those barriers or those barriers and those walls that you feel like you built up over all that time of craziness, you know.
And I think too, though, man. Like I said, like man, it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to be yourself, but at the same time, vent to those who really, you know what I'm saying, want to invest in you. Vent to those who really want to, know what I'm saying, who really believe in you. Vent to those who, you know what I'm saying, seen you, you know what I'm saying, come from, you know what I'm saying, nothing and become something. Like prime example, I'm gonna give a few shout outs. Like, you know what I'm saying? The mother of my child, I got Brittany Martin. That's my first, you know what I'm saying, who gave my first kid. I got Amanda, who gave my first daughter. I got Michelle, who gave me my second son. And then I got Isha, you know what I'm saying, who gave my first same race, you know what I'm saying, daughter, you know what I'm saying, Leah. So, and then through the grace of God, her son too. So her son, the mother of my child, he grew up without a dad. And I came in his life when he was 4. And now Xavier is, you know what I'm saying, 13, you know what I mean? So it's like, and that's another thing too, though. So like you gotta realize, man, because the crucial thing in fatherhood for African American males, like prime example, right? I had to learn this when I found my family, you know what I'm saying, on Facebook. When you grow up, you know what I'm saying, in a household without parents, it can deter you, you know what I'm saying, but that doesn't define who you are. But if you also like me, I technically got 4 kids biologically, but like I said, I got 5 because he's still a major part of my life, and I'd be damned, I you know what I'm saying, I abandon him. So what I mean by that is that because a mom or a dad might not allow you to see one kid, understand that you got kids in the household now. Don't forget that. So love them, cherish them, and give them as much love as possible because they're full aware, you know what I'm saying, if you're off, you know what I mean? Your kids will let you know. So I had to learn that too. Like prime example, like my first child, I used to get mad and be like, get mad at Brittany and be like, you know what, I'm not coming to get him. Now I'm breaking a bond with my kid because I'm mad at her. Whose fault is it? Is that the mom's fault? Is that my fault? That's why I say back to that first word, accountability. You know what I mean? So,
I like that. I like that, bro. Okay, so Leon, in terms of like everything that you're doing, right? All that struggle you've been through, you said you're in construction. What is it like, that work ethic that you built up? What is moving forward? Like, do you want to stay in construction? Do you have some future goals? Does RC play into that? Lay it all out for us.
So
I want to hear the whole thing.
I get you. So that's the RC
thing. Yeah, I love it. I have a friend, Brent, out in California. I'm sure you've seen some of his stuff, but he does RCs too. And as soon as I seen that he was doing it, I was like, dude, Leon does this. You got to see him.
So, so long story short, I have my own little, I call it mini business. Rebel RC Gang. It's like a little construction, not a construction, like a little group where I build cars. It's like my own little business. And the reason why I started doing this because this sport came to me from a scar. So when I was in Chicago, a lot of old school guys used to race these cars, and as a kid, I couldn't afford them, and a bunch of them used to tell me no. So I vowed to when I get bigger to learn everything about them, and I got the top ones, and so I'm sitting decent. So now I'm like, you know what? Since I'm good at working on them, why not see if I can make money off of it. Now, my dream job was working at a hobby store. I completed that. That was working out here at Hobby Heaven, Kansas, Missouri, Hobby Heaven. And I liked it and all that. And I appreciate the opportunity, but I saw a flaw. And I'm not knocking the place, but I saw a flaw. Yeah. And there we go. And the flaw was, hold on, let me plug the phone in real quick.
Oh yeah, you're good, brother.
So the flaw in it is that my thing is this, right? It wasn't necessarily the business. It was, the parents, like the parents bringing the kids in and not allowing the kids to be kids. Here's the thing, right? Yes, we grow up and our parents put a basketball in our hand. They put a football in our hand. How about you get your kid a basketball or football, soccer, put it in front of them, whatever one they choose, by all means, support that. But don't try to force the kid to doing something and then conform them to doing something. Then when they grow up and they do something else, you're mad. No, if you're their parent, you put to be their mentor, their support system, and all that, Yeah. So, long story short, being called a dad and looked up to, even with, the situation I've been in by a kid that's not mine, and he's seen me, like I say, put hands on his mother. Like I said, we're totally cool, laugh, all that. It's amazing. Like, to the world, honestly, people got to understand that when you do certain things, we're only focused on the victims, people around us. And I'm thankful enough, that the people I've hurt are still alive and they can see where I'm at now, because that's where I get my main gratification from, because they can, Leon, we see it.
And they support that change.
That feels good. Take the feelings away about the old stuff. What he's doing now, we don't know who the old dude was, but who we seeing now, we loving him. And that is why I think I stay motivated. That's why I got
so motivated.
I still be pissed, I still be angry, but at the same time, I'm motivated, to not to give up. That's the main thing. Don't give up. And here's the thing too, though. I learned this. No matter what, if you're doing something positive and you're going forward, no matter what, if you fall down, you got so much momentum going forward to where and you're attached to this support system, you're attached to this, so you're like Spider-Man. So you think a web or a neck ain't gonna come down and scoop you up from that bull crap? They got you.
Yeah. That's a small misstep.
Patience too, though. But here's the thing: everybody think, because he was locked up, he did these mean you used to be patient. No, we're the worst. Now,
we're the worst.
I hate Walmart because I look at Walmart now as a big commissary cap. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I gotta go to the store.
I'm still buying stuff by the bulk. So when they say institutionalized, I get it for most part. I get it, but at the same time, I don't necessarily call it institutionalized. I call it learning how to prioritize what you really need versus what you wanted that didn't really need you, which lets you out there lacking, dead, broke, busted, disgusted, or alone in prison. It's a difference.
What do you really need? Yeah.
And that's what it's about. But I don't know, man. I just want to, like, right now I'm comfortable where I'm at. Like I say, man, I came from nothing. I'm comfortable where I'm at. I'm actually a part of 2 construction sites somewhat. So long story short, this RC stuff have really opened a different platform for me. Yeah. And so long story short, you made a TikTok about a famous person you met, which that was big. I actually watched that back in the day. So when you did that, I responded to that video. I met Demarcus Robinson, which he was a Chiefs player before they traded him to the Raiders. And he came to the hobby store and he had a infraction. One of the cars I got, and his car was slower than his car was slower than Darrell Williams' car. And I'm like, well, because you got a different motor in it. And he was like, what do you mean? So I went to the car and grabbed mine. Once again, I didn't know who he was. Now, by the time he came back in the store, everybody kind of, Leon, this is, and I'm like, oh, now I look out there, I see the Benz. I'm like, oh, I see the chain.
Oh, I see it now.
I'm totally oblivious to all this, right? So, yeah. But I like the fact how he was just cool, calm, and I built a Chiefs player car. What's the odds of a convicted felon, drug addict, all these horrible things? Yeah. And I'm like, and it was amazing, you know what I mean? He gave me his number, he got his Instagram, and I'm like, how? And then, you know what I'm saying? So that's what it's about. And I actually turned one Chief player down because of his attitude. You know what I'm saying? Here's the thing. It's not about money for me. You know what I'm saying? It's about respect. You know what I'm saying? I'm willing to give my respect first because I understand that some people didn't grow up giving it first. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, you got to, in order to, you know what I'm saying, pull something out of somebody, you got to give something. You might have to go a little bit more, but that's how you change the world. Don't give up. Keep pushing. You know what I'm saying? When you stop pushing, that's when we all fail. You know what I mean? Yeah. But so anyway, one of my RC homies, I was struggling like 6 months ago. I lost one of my main jobs because of my background. I was a main welder for Ford. I was welding together the chassis. I'm a welder. I was welding the chassis for Ford. And I was doing the impossible. I caught COVID from the job, everything, and they fired me. I was really, really hurt. But I'm proud of myself because it was the hurt where the old me I would have used. I would have relapsed. You know what I'm saying?
Handled it.
If anything, one thing I will say helped me is that once I feel like someone's trying to control me, I fight against it. And what I mean by that is that I didn't like the coming down, feeling some drugs. I didn't like the fact that power, you know what I'm saying, I gave it. And not just that, I'm like, meth took kids away from me. Meth took time away from me. Meth, I couldn't eat. I couldn't sleep. I'm like, it consumed me. So I'm like, damn, I'm really going to give this all of this. That's no fun in this. You know, there's no fun in this. You know what I mean? And then not just that, like I was high around my kids, you know what I'm saying? Happened to tiptoe and I didn't want them to touch me and I didn't take showers. Everything was just horrible looking back. And I'm like, man, I made it through all of it. That's why I stay my butt home. Everybody, what are you doing? I'm staying at home. I'm going to work.
I'm a homebody. Yeah. I'm a homebody.
But I mean, so me, let's just say, for instance, right, in 7 years, me, honestly, what I want to do, which I've never really done, is travel. Like I say, I've been locked up so long, or I've been like staged in a certain area for so long to where, like, when I'm in the car, sometimes I love to drive. I don't like driving because I like looking outside the window like a dog. Like,
seeing.
You know
I want to see the world, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's different, you know, and that's why, like, when I was watching Chris doing that, I'm like, man, you know, I'm like, that's what's up. You know, I would never do it, but I know him and seeing that is different.
Yeah, bro, he's in Peru right now. Chris is in Peru.
That's where I saw the.
Yeah, in the middle of the jungle, doing crazy. Like you said, bro, he's radical. He's crazy.
You know what's crazy? People don't know, even though I'm off topic, but people don't know, man. For everybody that listening, his brother is like my best friend, my home dog. And I met him through his brother. And like I say, we all have unique backgrounds, man. The fact that where we're at now, like I say, I seen Chris at his worst, like worst,
bad.
You know. And then when he got his daughter back, that I cried. I'm like, man, like people don't understand, man. It just takes a little bit to bring the beauty out in you. And sometimes you like, did that come from me? How the hell? It's in it's in every single one of us, man. Like, we got to stop. Like, prime example. I love reading, man. I love reading and I love sayings. In order to get your hand shake, what you got to do? You got to take it out your pocket.
You got to take it out
your hand don't get shaky if it's in your pocket. You know what I'm saying? So, like on TV, everybody always screaming about, don't nobody love me. Don't nobody care about me. Don't nobody want me. Well, get this. Once again, you don't wake up every day angry. If you have an attitude and you have a certain way about yourself, it's pretty much making everybody walk away from you. You know what I'm saying? Don't want to be around you versus if you hold some type of confidence, just a little bit, now people, okay, how you doing? People gonna want to know it's an approach. Be approachable. Don't be, oh no, I'm going this way.
You know what I mean? I'm going this way. I like that, Leon. That be approachable. On a big talk show, they said one of the biggest qualities to getting jobs and people just liking you is being just a likable person. Like getting jobs, getting the opportunities. You just gotta be likable. It don't matter. Yep.
I'm glad.
Go ahead.
I'm glad you said that job thing. So back to that job thing. The number one reason why I keep talking, I did TikTok and Facebook is all that, because I'm gonna say the word hate, even though it's bad to use, or dislike, is the excuse making, right? Like, how many excuses are you gonna make when you have opportunities in front of you to be better? Prime example, once again, prison. Minnesota prison taught me this, and Chicago prison taught me this. You know it because you've been there. So prime example, when they call something out on the deck or on the unit, they bring a piece of paper of information given to everybody out there. There's a certain crowd of people who grab the information, take it back to their cells, and they pretty much dissect that information. They take everything from the information so they don't come back to the main place in which they're currently staying. Versus there's this other crowd in which they rip it up this way, fold it this way. You either playing Scrabble, spades, whatever you want to do. And yet those are the ones who are blaming the system because one, they either killed somebody or they did this, they going right back out there and they becoming reoffenders. It's a guy in Lionel Lakes, he says, in one of the Mosh meets, he's like, you know what? There's no such thing as a revolving door if you stop it. And I was and I was
You're
like,
the one who controls the door.
Yeah, that makes sense. And here's the thing, everybody be like, how long you got? Okay, if I got 3 years, you're not taking into consideration. I got an anchor monitor on, I got probation. So technically, I'm copping out to 6 years of my life. You know what I'm saying? With a system which, if you're a private female or guy, you don't like, you know what I'm saying? You don't like nobody on your business. So if you don't like people in your business, guess what you got to do? Follow the rules. Pay attention to everybody who messed up in front of you or behind you, or even the things you did in which you got, you know what I'm saying, sentence for or consequences for. Learn from that. But also, if you mess up again, by all means, ask for help. It's right there in front of your face, man. It's right there in front of your face. So I mean, that's what it's about. I think, you know what I'm saying. Don't give yourself excuses, you know what I'm saying, to not be better, but also be better. If somebody's bringing you any information to better you, to make you, they don't even, here's the thing, skip about, oh, that's a guard, that's a teacher, they don't care about us, they only making this. That's because you listen to this person, that person. Stop doing that. What you need to focus on. What you need to focus on is the simple fact that that person came in there with some information to heal you, help you stay the hell up out of here. Now you the fool for not listening to it. So who wrong? You or not listening?
You're the fool for not listening.
That's why I say one thing, that word accountability is so crucial, man, because we blame, and then when we make people aware of what's going on in their actions, and it's under that. No. I'm not yelling and screaming. I'm just letting you know that you asked me for help, brother. I'm just trying to help you. Yeah. And then they get mad. When you figure it out, you change. They're like, well, damn. And I was the one that told you.
Yeah, I was the one that told you.
Right. You know?
Leon, so for everybody out there, let's say there's a kid, 7 years old, same thing you're going through, right? Same experiences, and they're just waiting to hear these words of encouragement or something to keep their head above water in the same similar shoes that you were in. What would you say, in a sense of like last words to everybody? Your motivation and what your life represents and what you brought from it.
What I would say is don't hold nothing in. Don't hold back. If somebody's abusing you or hurting you, by all means, make people aware of that. You know what I'm saying? Don't nobody, a child or even adult, deserve to be abused or neglected, you know what I mean? And neglected is a broad statement because neglection can be in a mass form of a lot of things, you know what I'm saying? It's just because somebody give you food and the main necessities doesn't mean that they're not neglecting your emotional status, your mental status, you know what I mean? Or even your physical status. I read a book in prison, 5 the Love Languages. And I love
that book, bro.
Yeah.
Love that book.
Yeah.
Love that book.
So, and one thing I learned is my love language was helping people. You know what I'm saying? Helping people. You know what I mean? But also as a kid, be a kid. I was saying this a long time ago, man. Like enjoy that stage in life. You know what I'm saying? Don't grow up too fast. You know what I'm saying? And if you have anything in which you like or that inspires you, that's healthy for you, you know what I'm saying, or those around you, by all means, man, dive head, you know what I'm saying, head, heels, whatever, into doing it. You know what I'm saying? Don't stop, you know what I'm saying, being beautiful, you know what I'm saying, because you see ugly around you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But be experimentative. Kids is different, man. So because I got 5 kids. So what I pretty much do it like this, what I tell my kids. Have fun, be safe. Communication. Me personally, I think communication is key. The reason why I say that for kids, because nowadays, right? Prime example, you got 24 hours. Let me make this quick. You got 24 hours in a day, right? 8 hours or 12 hours, depending on your, you know what I'm saying, occupation, you're at work. The rest of those hours, you know what I'm saying, your teachers your teachers teaching your kid, daycare teaching your kid, all that. So you got to realize, so then by then, that's like 16 hours of the day gone. So now the kid's back home. Now, mom or dad, you got to cook. Now y'all got to share the responsibilities. You know what I'm saying? So really, the amount of, you know what I'm saying, bonding time you got with your kid in a 24-hour period, I say what, 7-8 hours, if that.
Yeah, that's wild to think, bro.
Make it count. You know what I'm saying? Make it count. You know what I'm saying? I personally waste, you know what I'm saying, so much time with time. And I say to the parents personally, man, a kid shouldn't keep saying mom, 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 dad, dad. Eventually that's gonna stop. And then when they get older, that main question, oh, my kids don't talk to me no more. They don't. That's why he wasn't giving them attention in the early years. Why should they give you attention now? You know what I mean? So I think for the parents, love your kids, man. There's people out here that does not get an opportunity to see their kids again. It's people out here that has their kids, like prime example, the system took their kids, but gave the kids to their mom, which means that you still got your kid. If you do the right things, sober up, get a job, get stability, you know what I'm saying, get longevity, because it's behind your belt. You think your mom or your dad not going to allow you to see your seed? Come on,
that's what
stop.
they want.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, they want it more than anything.
Yeah, but kids, man, be yourself. Like I say, if there is any bullying, that I gotta. So bullying, I was bullied. So I was trained how to fight. I kickboxed for 13.5 years because I was bullied. And I despise bullies. So on TikTok, I had to learn how to really conduct myself, because like I've been spit on, all that. I've been like, so I don't, bullies, understand something. If there's trauma in your house with your dad, your mom, or your uncle, or somebody is abusing you, open your mouth. If you don't open your mouth, God forbid, you're going to grow up and you're going to harm somebody. You know what I'm saying? You're not, you know what I'm saying? And the crazy part about it is your initial attention wasn't even doing that. But your anger blackout moment, which you all have, that then overturned a rock, and now you were spewing all these emotions out on the wrong person for the minor disrespect. You know what I mean? That's why they say, check yourself, handle your emotions, man, grow up, let it go, cry. Hey, brother, I love you, man. I appreciate everything you're doing. You're doing good, man. Keep doing that. It's okay as men to say that versus, oh, man, I don't like dude. I don't like this. It's not about that. So the kids and adults, I think, man, just if you see a problem, an issue, and you can help it, by all means, do that. Now, if you can't, fall back. It's okay. You know what I'm saying? It's not your time, and it's not your time or place to do that. By all means, now, if you can do a different route, call somebody else, have somebody else relieve that pain. But until then, let it go. You know what I'm saying? Let it go and move on. Grudges, nowadays, we got to stop holding grudges. Once again, what's a grudge going to do? A grudge going to do nothing. That person, I wrote a poem a long time ago saying deathbed sorrows don't count. And the reason why I wrote that poem, because, prime example, somebody I truly love, they're in a deathbed, and I never made amends because I was mad because at Thanksgiving, they made the wrong chicken. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. We're allowing so much stuff to go on to, you know what I'm saying, manipulate ourselves to push our loved ones away and our main friends. We gotta stop doing that. We gotta gravitate to them and help them help us, or you know what I'm saying, vice versa. You know what I mean? But that's what it's about.
I'm guilty of that a lot, brother. I'm guilty of that a lot. Leon, it has been amazing, bro, hearing your story. Seriously, I think everything moving forward, bro, I hope to see you doing speaking. I hope that you share your story so much more, bro, because it's been a blessing and honor to hear it from you, bro. It's inspiring, bro. You've been through a lot. Like you said, you've been through the mud, bro. Leon, it's only up from here, dog.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. And like I say, I appreciate, you know what I'm saying, you and your story too. You know what I mean? Because like I say, it's amazing in total. I met your brother, and then you people don't understand that you're a prime example of it can happen. But consistency and putting yourself in a position to win. Like prime example, I moved from Chicago. People say change the watch this. I'm gonna say my last thing I'm gonna say.
You're good, brother.
They say change the people, places, and things, right? But what about that fourth one? That fourth one is you. If you don't change you, like prime example, I moved from Chicago, but because I ain't fully changed me, problems occurred, you know what I'm saying, Minnesota. You know what I'm saying? So them four things gotta be, you know what I'm saying, implemented, not just the people, places, and things. You know what I'm saying? Because you can move and the problems can still be there because they're still inside you. You know what I mean?
They're still inside you. I like that, Leon. Bro, I'm looking forward to everything with you moving forward with just business, work, career. Seriously, bro, jump into whether you like feel it in your heart. I swear, bro, like the inspiration from your story, I swear there's so many people out there. I'm sure listening now when they hear this, bro, you'll see the comments and stuff. It's like, it's inspiring, bro. Don't stop. Please don't stop. Yeah, don't ever stop, Leon.
I won't, man. I won't. And like I said, and because of people like, you know what I'm saying, like you, Chris, you know what I'm saying, my kids, everybody who played a major part in my life, man, my success, my wife, everything, man. Like I say, I wasn't a good spirit, you know what I'm saying, but I did good deeds, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? That's because I pretty much hated myself. I had to learn how to hear in the, like, promise them. I hate when people are like, "Oh, Leon, you're doing good." I was like, "I'm doing all right." No, you have to learn how to embrace all those things, man. Because if you don't, you're still battling your own demons alone. You gotta stop doing that. When you got all this love around you, you gotta embrace that love around and get that stuff about you, man. And you're gonna be all right in life. You know what I mean?
Leon, earlier on in the interview, you said you were like, you know, just referencing, you were saying, "Who wants to hear my story?" Honestly, bro, I vouch for it. I imagine the whole world wants to hear this story, bro. And it's I hope you continue to share it, bro. Seriously. Don't stop, Leon. Don't let the fire. Don't stop, dog.
I won't, brother. I won't, brother.
Bro, thank you so much. It's been an honor having Leon on the After the Gate podcast. And you guys will be seeing more of him. I promise that. So
I appreciate you, brother.